incoming CEO of the USTA, somebody I've known and respected for a very long time, Craig Tiley on served, as well as the man to his left. I don't know, there's a lot of job titles to remember with what you got going on right now. It's like president, chairman of the board, co-CEO. So you guys co-CEO, or how does this work now? What's the, not to make it weird right away, but what's the org chart?
I'm waiting for him to start.
How's this work?
So I can get rid of that title.
Okay, Brian Vahaly, a dear friend of mine for a long, long time. We used to play together. I don't want to brag, I've already told this audience, but we beat the Bryans one time.
It's kind of a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
Big deal.
Not a lot of people can say that. I mean, I did it with many people.
That's quiet.
Yeah, okay.
Keep it moving.
All right, Craig. So you are on a. Are you well rested right now? What's your situation?
Yeah, I'm well rested.
You've been here a day?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, I've been here less than it took to get here. Okay. But we're getting there.
I want you to tell, just to level set, and it's not just conferences with fun people where, you know, we're learning stuff, we're talking, we're communicating, and then all of a sudden we're trying to get to that first cocktail. You told me a stat backstage that you've kept track of how many miles you've traveled while you were working for Tennis Australia.
I was 20 years,
What was that number?
A little over 7 million.
7 million miles traveled.
I think I can probably fly the plane, but I wouldn't. But yeah, it's been a lot of travel. I mean, it's an island at the bottom of the earth.
I know where it is. Yeah, I've been there too.
I know, a few times.
Let's get to it, right? From kind of the inner circles of tennis, there were rumors, right, that we were looking for someone, and you know, your name was bubbling up, and I'm going, I hope that is the person that they can convince you to take the job. Well done, Brian.
Thank you.
Why the USTA? After all the success you've had in Tennis Australia, like that sunset must have looked really close, right? Like, why the USTA? Why now?
Well, I would like to start by actually saying it started way back when Brian was a junior player. Mm-hmm. And I started at the University of Illinois, and I was trying to get the best junior players to come to Illinois, and it didn't really happen because we weren't very good. And he kind of blew me off in the recruiting process. And so I promised one day I'd get him back, and here we are. But why? Look, I mean, there's a couple of things. One is that I just see a massive opportunity in US tennis right now. There's a long-term vision. There hasn't been that ever, and I think we're in a great position that the game's growing, and the people in this room, as you said at the beginning, are the people that are going to make it happen. So I saw tremendous upside. There's a way that the US, again, could lead the world when it comes to participation, getting people to play the game, getting people to perform well in the game. And I've been very lucky. The years I had at Tennis Australia, I think I had every possible job under the sun. And it has been magnificent. It just came that time where everything aligned and went for it.
You have this tendency to take big swings, they end up working, and then you go and take a bigger swing at something. Whether it's you said you were not very good at Illinois. You won national titles at Illinois, and I could name 20 people who you would know from tour that he coached there. So starting off with being self-deprecating, but then the work you've done with Tennis Australia and kind of the working. I mean, what it was when you joined versus what it is now. Talk about that progression. And from where I sit, it looks like you were constantly trying to peek around the corners, right? Not just taking traffic that comes to you. It's a Grand Slam. I enjoyed it when I played there, and it's nothing like it is now. Is that something that is natural to you, or is that something that you have to kind of force a little bit?
I mean, I think the first thing is you learn from everyone. You probably don't know this, but I've learned things from you. And he's getting nervous now. One of the first things...
Was it beer pong?
Well, it's not too dissimilar to that. But one of the things was in 2007. I just started as the tournament director, and in 2007 I walked into the media room, and you did an interview right after the semifinals with Roger Federer, and I watched you and I listened to that interview, and I thought, that's exactly how you deal with the media. You just don't answer the questions they ask. And
So that's how you got through January. Craig, is it true that you're leaving for the USTA?
that's exactly right. So when the media would ask a question about January, I would talk about women playing 3 out of 5 sets, and suddenly the conversation changed. So, look, I think in all seriousness, taking big swings, I'm a big believer in going for it, and there's a risk in everything that you do, and just take the risk. You won't know the outcome unless you take the risk, and I much prefer to make a decision that's wrong than not make a decision at all. So I've kind of lived my whole life like that, and I've been very lucky. I've been around great people. Tennis Australia, I was fortunate there. There's a great team we put together, and it's not going to be any dissimilar here. There's a great team in place, and there's a lot of magnificent things that are happening. And I got to build on the legacy that Andrew and Brian have already started. So I'm looking forward to that.
Brian, talk about the process. Talk about, for those of us who don't know, and I've never been part of like a search committee, like you've seen how unprofessional our team is. Walk us through the process, the narrow down, or was it, we want him and let's work backwards from a no?
Well, Craig knows this, but this was dating back to 2020. I sent him an email when we didn't have a CEO at the time. I have been hunting Craig for six years. And so to say he's one of the best CEOs in our sport would be an understatement.
Sure.
So I always knew he was somebody I was excited to talk to, engage his interest, would now be that time. But listen, this is a really exciting job, and we conducted a global search. We had people from all sports who were interested, not just in the tennis ecosystem. So really trying to think through, where are we as an organization, what do we need right now? But I'll tell you, and I believe you called the hire a no-brainer, it's really hard to find a better fit and a better person for us in this moment than Craig. And so yes, we always had our eyes out. I was incredibly thrilled that he was interested, but it was part of a massive search. We had a lot of interested candidates. Listen, the US Open is at all-time highs. Who doesn't want to be responsible and a part of the US Open right now? But you also have to understand this job is complicated. It's not just the US Open. We're trying to grow tennis players in America. And so we've got a candidate in front of us who not only knows how to run an event of this magnitude, but has grown tennis in Australia by 30%. So just at the end of the day, it's really hard to touch or to beat a candidate as strong as Craig.